Shalom, shalom, everyone. I thought this would be a good background for this subject. Cardinal Pell, the downfall of Cardinal Pell. So a lot of you probably have already heard about this story. It's breaking news. Australia tried to put a gag order on it, but it's gotten out. This is a article put out by the Church Militant, but they're quoting from the Daily Beast. Basically, this guy, he was the third highest ranking cardinal in Rome. Now, there's some points that I want to make about this. So the Pope actually allowed this guy to go to court and be tried on sexual misconduct, and of course now he's been found guilty of being a satanic pedophile. But the Pope has a double standard, because there's another cardinal as well that he would not allow to do that. So the Pope is trying to act as if he's becoming this righteous person in making sure that he takes care of these problems. Guys, the Pope is a satanic pedophile himself. There are tunnels beneath the Vatican. I did a story about this months ago, several weeks ago anyway. So don't go for that. It's not even true. So as you see this beautiful glacier, I'm going to read this article, or at least part of it. So a jury has found Cardinal George Pell guilty on all counts related to sexually abusing two altar boys. According to sources who spoke to the Daily Beast, a jury returned a unanimous verdict on Tuesday against the Australian cardinal after 3 days of deliberation. Church Militant confirmed the news with its own inside sources in Australia. Further details are unavailable as the court has issued a suppression order to Australian media to, quote, prevent a real and substantial risk of prejudice to the proper administration of justice, end quote. Yeah, right. A previous trial resulted in a hung jury. Pell had been accused of molesting two altar boys during a swimming trip in the 1990s when he was bishop in Ballarat, a town northwest of Melbourne, Australia. Pell had vigorously denied the allegations, and his attorney Robert Richter said in 2015 that there's voluminous evidence to show that what was alleged is impossible. Well, although multiple accusations were leveled at the cardinal initially, the court threw out most of them. Pell was named the Vatican's Secretariat for the Economy in 2014, making him the third highest ranking cleric in Rome. He was brought in ostensibly to clean up Vatican finances, exercising oversight over Vatican properties and personnel. He proposed reforms, however, which included demands for greater transparency, which were met with resistance. According to Vatican expert Edward Penton, the old guard resisted reform out of fears it would reveal their corruption. Pope Francis restricted Pell's powers without notice in motu proprio he issued in 2016, and a financial audit by the firm PricewaterhouseCoopers was cut short by the Secretary of State after only 4 months. One source who spoke with Penton complained that the reforms were dead, over-finished, they've been blocked. The corruption continues. It's just better concealed, the inside source added, saying Vatican finances had returned to being as bad as they were before Pell's reforms, and possibly worse. Libero Malone, the Vatican's Auditor General, initially put in place to implement reforms, was fired in 2017, the Vatican accusing him of spying on officials. Malone, however, claims it was the other way around. The Vatican was spying on him, and he was fired because he discovered financial irregularities that threatened top Vatican officials. 1 week later, Pell also left the Vatican, granted permission by Pope Francis to stand trial in Australian court over charges of historical sexual offenses. So anyway, he basically stood trial again. This is for allegations going back to the 1990s, and he has now been charged as a pedophile. Of course, he's a satanic pedophile. Again, the Pope has a double standard. If you look at the very last, and they put this at the very bottom of the article, some have called out Pope Francis for an apparent double standard. In September, he had refused to allow Cardinal Louis Ladaria Ferrer, prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, to stand trial for allegations of sex abuse cover-up. So it's continued double standard. Remember, the Roman Catholic Church, it was founded from its inception as a child sex front. They started the pedophile religion of Muhammad, of Islam, and it's always been a child sex front. That's what it's always been. And so the Pope needs to be arrested, prosecuted, tried, and executed. And that's what we're going to see very soon as these indictments continue to come out. Everything's being exposed. Everything's being exposed. Hallelujah. More and more is coming out. And I'm rejoicing, as should you. And we need to continue to pray. Pray for our president, for what's happening. Everything's coming to light. Yahshua said this would happen. All things hidden in darkness would come to light. Hallelujah. Well, I hope this glacier view blesses you. And may you all be blessed on this 5th day of the 9th Hebrew month. If you like what I'm doing, if you support what I'm doing, I have my PayPal link right below this video. You don't have to be a PayPal user to use PayPal to send me a donation. I have a P.O. box you can send letters to and financial donations to. I also have a Patreon where you can make monthly pledges. I have a variety of links. That White House petition, please sign it. But this is my full-time career now, and the 4 pillars of my ministry, which I haven't flashed up here on this video, you can find them in the description box below every video I do. And it's to expose satanic pedophiles, protect the innocent children, allow satanic ritual abuse survivors a platform to speak out on, and of course preach the gospel of the Messiah, Yahshua, Jesus, on college campuses and universities across the nation. Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom, guys. Yah bless.